What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. So continuing on with these iPhone 11 comparisons, we're going to be comparing the iPhone 11 Pro to its direct predecessor, the iPhone XS. And we're going to be looking at specifically the cameras. However, if you want to see a full-on in-depth comparison of pretty much every single other thing between these phones, go ahead and click the first link down in the description, maybe the second, I don't really remember, but one of the links down there will take you to a video. You can watch that video for the full in-depth comparison of everything else besides the cameras. But in this video, we're going to be looking at just the photos really and some video quality things tests that I did as well. I took some indoor photos, some outdoor photos, bro, but I'll be completely honest, I'm not a huge photographer. Like, I don't really know what to look for in photos. I'm only looking at things that I directly see. I'm sure if you talk to an actual professional photographer, they can see a lot more differences and do much better tests. But I'm the best we got right now, so like we just gotta put in the work to do these things. Before I get too far into this video though, I'm still doing the iPhone XR giveaway. If you want to enter, all you have to do is click the first, second, third, fourth link down in the description. It'll be one of the links down there. It'll say free iPhone XR giveaway. Just click on that video and watch that video basically. It'll explain exactly how to enter. It's completely free. I just want to say thank you to you guys for helping to support the channel and all that. So go ahead and support your boy by clicking that link down and following the giveaway, So now getting on with this camera comparison, looking at the first photo, I want to say actually before, both these cameras are all 12 megapixel sensors on both of these phones. So two 12 megapixel sensors on the iPhone XS, but three 12 megapixel sensors on the iPhone 11 Pro. Now the 11 Pro has an extra ultra wide sensor that the iPhone XS does not have. So that's kind of an important thing to note. Not a crazy difference between them, but that one does have the ultimately better camera sensor, as well as the more camera sensors on that, as well as more features, which we'll get into in a second. Now looking at the first photo, you can see the standard test that I usually do. The iPhone 11 Pro photo is on the right, the iPhone XS photo is on the left. And the first thing that I noticed is I just think the iPhone 11 Pro did a better job at just color accuracy of the photo. I don't know what the term is, but to me personally, the Rubik's Cube in the center looks a little bit better on the iPhone 11 Pro than it does on the iPhone XS. It's all personal preference though, but that is one thing that I immediately saw. It just seems like a little bit less greasy on the iPhone 11 Pro. I don't really notice too much of a difference between the desks, but ultimately, if you looked at both photos and you looked away quickly, I don't think you would notice that big of a difference, honestly. Now moving on to the next photo, this is just of the similar location really, and again, the iPhone XS on the left, the iPhone 11 Pro on the right, and I don't really notice that much of a difference between them. They look like almost the exact same photos, maybe, and I would have honestly thought they were the same photos until I saw that my foot is on the iPhone 11 Pro photo, but ultimately, I don't see that big of a difference. I mean, if you see something, let me know in the comment section below. In my opinion, and this is really weird and kind of going backwards from the 11 Pro, that Rubik's Cube in the top left corner seems to be more out of focus or have that more bokeh effect than the iPhone 11 Pro photo did. So kind of weird. I don't know what to make of that, but this next photo is actually super interesting. Now, I want to say before I start getting hate comments, I let the phone cameras do their autofocus by themselves. I don't tap to focus or anything like that. And in this case, I think that could have probably helped the iPhone XS with the camera lens. You can see that in the center of that Sigma DG, whatever the acronym is. You can see how out of focus the iPhone XS photo is compared to the iPhone 11 Pro photo. Now, they're both almost the exact same location, exact same everything. It's just I just point to it, I let it focus on whatever it's focusing, then I hit that shutter button. I don't quickly shake the camera or anything, so I'm not too sure what happened here. But yeah, without a doubt, the 11 Pro really did a way better job in this photo. Now looking at the next one, this is honestly a messed up one. I reversed that image on the left on the XS by accident. If you look at the camera icon things, you can see set, all that, that was an accident, I apologize. But even then, the quality of the photo did not change at all. And even though it's kind of hard to tell doing a side-by-side of this one because I was an idiot and flipped the image, I definitely do think the iPhone 11 Pro did a better job here. And this is a weird thing across the board. Anytime I took a photo of the iPhone 11 Pro or on the iPhone, whatever iPhone I was comparing it to, of this specific Canon camera, I always found that it always made different renders and things. Maybe it's because of all the different darker colors. But the 11 Pro always seemed to do a better job on those specific darker colors, which is a really good thing. And I said thing really weird. Now, this next one is super important, which demonstrates portrait mode on both of these devices. Now, the iPhone XS, like I said, is on the left, iPhone 11 Pro on the right, and on first glance, honestly, I don't really notice too much of a difference. And if you had to give me both of these portrait modes on both of these devices, I would be perfectly fine. I don't notice that big of a difference between them. Really, maybe is the saturation of a little bit on the iMac screen on the back. of the iPhone XS seems to be a little bit oversaturated. On the iPhone 11 Pro seems to be a little bit smoother, but even then, like I've stated in other photos, like I don't see that big of a difference between them and this portrait mode example. So that's that. I mean, maybe if you looked at the pixels and different things here and there, you might be able to notice bigger differences, but ultimately, in my opinion, they're almost the same exact thing in my opinion. This next photo is also of one of the grass, the legendary grass plant. And yet again, not that big of differences between them. I mean, like, yeah, maybe the 11 Pro is better here if you zoomed into the pixels and did like crazier things. One thing to note, the grass pot on the right on the iPhone 11 Pro does seem a little bit smoother, but I've seen this before, like it's not that big of a deal. So I wouldn't really worry about it too much in my opinion. Now this next photo again is pretty much of the same layout. One quick thing to note though is that for the iPhone 11 Pro, it seems like the railing of the bottom of the wood, it doesn't seem like there's a lot of noise going on there, and it seems a lot cooler in color compared to the iPhone XS. So you can see like that split down the middle, you can see the difference in contrast of those colors and how both of these phones determine those colors. Now, in terms of the Rubik's Cube colors, they look almost identical. I don't see that big of a difference between them, but that raw color of the very bottom of that wood, I do notice a little bit of difference. Still not like a crazy thing, but just a little bit. Now, this next one is actually the first one outside, and yet again, I don't notice that big of a difference between them straight out the jump, like straight out the gate. However, when you start kind of examining both photos in depth, you can kind of tell that the iPhone 11 Pro photo does, I mean, I think all the 11 Pro photos looked better kind of, but this one, you can kind of tell like the pot of the flower does look a little bit better on the iPhone 11 Pro. I mean, I feel like that's more of what the color is than what the iPhone XS did, but even that is super petty to hit on because they're almost the exact same thing, but that's kind of getting into the nitty and gritty. Now looking at the actual red rose flower, it seems like the iPhone XS did, I guess, a more redder job at it. Like it seems like the rose is more red on the iPhone XS. And I don't even think this is a rose. I think this is like some random flower. I don't even know what this is. Like a tulip or something. I don't know. But the iPhone 11 Pro seems to be more accurate. Like, I don't know. There's definitely a difference here. I don't know which one looks better to me. I kind of do like the red punchy color of the iPhone XS, but I feel like the iPhone 11 Pro is less filtery and looks more real in my opinion. So that's kind of one thing to hit on, but other than that, I mean, you can tell I don't know much about cameras based off this. Now this next photo shows the camera lens that I showed basically on every single comparison so far. And again, I mean, it looks like the XS did a better job at darkening the photo, but the iPhone 11 Pro did a better job at showing you the actual center and showing you, I guess, a lighter image of it, which might have something to do with the deep fusion technology or whatever that's in the latest version. But between them, yet again, I think the 11 Pro did a better job between these, definitely. Now this next photo might surprise some of you. It's a really, really bad photo. It's an indoor photo, but again, this kind of demonstrates the range and quality that you will receive from these cameras, because it's not like every single time you're going to be in perfect lighting. Now on the iPhone XS, I feel like this is a better photo. On the 11 Pro, I don't know what was going on. Like I had to take this photo like 3 different times to get it into this quality, and it's still a little blurry. So not too sure what was going on here. Definitely, not that much noise going on for both of these photos, but the 11 Pro's photo for some reason doesn't look too good in my opinion. So again, not too sure what was going on here. But again, it could be the slip of the hand, could be something else. I don't want to say, give too much fault to the 11 Pro camera, but I'm not too sure what happened here. Now this next photo, again, there's not that much of a difference. Like they look almost exactly the same. There's very, very little difference. I mean, maybe like that leaf on the very right, you could maybe see a little bit difference in the colors, but I don't know. Like I kind of like the XS photo, like the very little difference that there is. I feel like the colors on the iPhone XS look maybe a little bit better, but again, that's so subjective. Maybe you like the one on the right, which is the 11 Pro, maybe, who knows. However, one thing that is not subjective, like I stated before, is the feature selection of the iPhone 11 Pro. Now looking at this specific photo, you can see that on the left, you have the standard iPhone XS range that you're able to take of a photo. The iPhone 11 Pro on the right, you can see that ultra wide sensor, which is a new little feature within the camera app. And it's also a hardware thing too. Now these were taken at the exact same range in the exact same spot, and look how much more you can get into a photo. And even looking at the next one, I mean, this is just a leaf. Look how much more you're able to get into these photos. Like it's super impressive. That leaf looks so much more like closer on the iPhone XS than it does on the iPhone 11 Pro. Now obviously you can rearrange this. You can go and zoom in on the 11 Pro, but you can't zoom out more on the iPhone XS, and that's kind of a weird thing. Like this is all like, it's a cool little feature for sure. It's the greatest thing in the world. I mean, maybe not, maybe people don't even care, but it's definitely a really, really cool thing, and I would rather have the ability to do that than not have the ability at all. So this next part is just the video actually that I took of both of them, the iPhone 11 Pro on the right, the iPhone XS on the left. And again, I mean, I kind of see the same thing going on here with like the redness of the poppy colors of the iPhone XS, and I don't know, maybe I like that a little bit more. I don't know, like I feel like the autofocusing of both phones are pretty good. You know, they're about almost the same. The 11 Pro is a little, I don't know, it takes a little bit longer in my opinion. You can see the dirt inside of both the pods. They look a little bit different in color. The actual pods themselves also look a little different. And also, I mean, just every single thing about these phones, they look a little bit different every way you look at it. So they're very slight. If you showed me the iPhone XS photo or the video, and then you showed me the iPhone 11 Pro video, I probably wouldn't notice that big of a difference. But when you do a side by side, you kind of see some little differences here and there. So ultimately, dude, what I would tell you is, without a doubt, the iPhone 11 Pro not only is the better camera, not because, you know, it has the better features and everything, but it also has more hardware within it. You know, it has that ultra wide sensor. So without a doubt, you are definitely getting an increase of not only photo video quality, but also the features of them. You have night mode, you have the ultra wide sensor, you know, so ultimately it is the better phone. But I do think the XS video quality, photo quality, everything about it is still very, very strong of this device. I don't think, you know, you're giving up one to get the other. I think it's definitely a very good device still in terms of camera quality. So what I'll definitely tell you, and to kind of sum up this whole entire thing, without a doubt, if you have a XS, keep it. I wouldn't go upgrade because of the video quality, because there's not much of an upgrade there. They're very, very close. And there was like even a case or two where the iPhone XS was the better video or photo quality. So it's just kind of how you interpret it. Whichever photo you like, that's just kind of what you're going to choose. But there were very little differences between them, in my opinion. So that kind of sums it up. If you have any questions or anything, leave it down in the comment section below. Let me know, which one do you think is better? Do you think it's worth it to go and upgrade to an iPhone 11 Pro? Hit that like button if you guys enjoyed the video, but definitely hit that subscribe button. Every single subscriber that we get really does count, so it means so much if you guys can hit that. Also check out the other links down in the description as well. My Twitter, my Instagram, my second channel. All those links are linked down below. I'd really appreciate it if you guys could check it out. But more importantly than everything else, I love every single one of you guys. Hopefully I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out till then.